Right, today I'm working on various things. Right, that was not what I meant to do. So I just quickly want to add a quickly this multi-document smart search thing that lets you, and this really ought not take long, it should be quick, nice and quick. Okay, so this lets us search like XLO for TMX and shows the results like this, and then we can do things with the results like add them to the document or copy them or insert into Word, insert into Excel, add it as an entry, blah 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 blah. Right, so I quickly want to, that just shows search results, so I quickly want to add, it'll probably be a useful feature I think, over here I think, I want to make a toolbar and just, you press a button and it maybe shows all the entries, like a show all. So that you can almost like browse the results. That requires probably in this file here where we allocate a search, that should probably become like a toolbar. This really ought not take long, it should take like half an hour. So I'm going to watch the clock quarter past because I don't have a lot of time. Okay, click toolbar. And let's say we did this the other day. How did we do it? I think I deleted the toolbar code. Anyway, now I went back. Just the right tool. I don't know if that's right. Right, so I'm finding Visual Studio 2017 very slow, painfully slow. It's too slow, I can't work. But, okay, not quite sure what to do about it. Maybe go back to add control, I think is the right thing. Add control. In our sizer, we don't want to add the search, we want to add the toolbar. Okay. Toolbar said rows. Yeah, I definitely want that for the main toolbar. Didn't I try that before? I think I tried it before, it didn't work. But I'm using all the wxWidgets, that's probably why. Okay. Alright, no, the search doesn't work anymore. Nice. What's going on? Huh? Maybe we must set the parent toolbar. Oh, also doesn't. Oh, okay. So add toolbar. Search. We got a few of these in. We've got these in toolbars elsewhere. I know it must work. That label, it shouldn't be there, shouldn't be a label like that. Okay, now it works. Alright, so we want to add a new button to the toolbar. That should be a tooltip. Alright. Toolbar. toolbar, back toolbars. Okay. String label bitmap, short help. Can I do label? And it takes a wx bitmap. Wx bitmap. What about just a wx control? When you control toolbar tool, what about adding just a button? And then we just create a button. Or is that not normally how one does it? Let's just see what I did here. Do that. To get tool, add tool. To get bitmap. I wonder if it makes a copy of the bitmap. Can you just give it a bitmap and then let your bitmap go out of scope? Previously I would load the bitmap and then but that seems, surely it's not necessary to do that. Okay. Bitmap. We've got a powerful load bitmap which only loads PNGs. Okay, let's find them insert. PNG geo bitmaps. That's also not the idea. Damn it, man. Alright, Microsoft Manager. Let's just try this, because maybe I misunderstood. wx bitmap. Let's try to remember if the image, right? Load file. And that's going to be string combine files w. Files combined W. Should have a flip man before, honestly, doesn't it? Okay. What did I do yesterday? Yeah, like just that. Okay, now I want to try just grab an image that exists already, and I'm just hoping that one of them seems to sort of make sense as a search all or something, but I'm not really optimistic about that. Come on. Like, no, not that one. No, that's two. They are really tiny. Gosh. Maybe the binoculars. I'm too lazy to just get a new to search for something new and add it. And It's not just searching for a new image, it's also doing some thinking as to where it should live, which is not so obvious. And then adding it to the installer stuff if you've added a new folder. There's nothing that really screams, show me everything. But then, I mean, how do you even represent that? All, I mean, maybe the clipboard. No, maybe that. Alright, let's just get. It's embarrassing, but anyway. Okay. So we path combine that, and we path combine twice. Oh wait, no, I don't need to do that. We just say. Right, okay. And this will be TWS. All entries in all documents. No, show all entries inside the document. Selected or all? I think we should have both. All and... Oh, what's your problem now? Now the other day, now what I want to do is link this with a button, generic button stuff I was working on yesterday. And the other day I did that. I can't remember where. I added a toolbar tool. And took the results of it. There, that frame mount helper. And but I don't know if I want to bind it to the frame. Add handler. Search for. I need to add a fix me here because is this ever ending? Yeah, just keep adding more and more. Don't know what that is. And yeah. Now this add handler concept is sitting in the controller. Multidoc manager is not supposed to know about the controller. Actually the dialog can, for now. I use Control F2 to set a You know, to get back to where I was, if I need to add a header to the top quickly, yeah, I'll either use like Control F2 and then F2 for the bookmarks. Although they've changed the shortcut keys, I can manually set it so F2 works again. Or yeah, or if I've put a comment like that, then I can use Control F3. Control F3 on the thing will search the next result in the file of the thing you're standing on. Control F3. So to quickly get down where I was, the stand on add handler, and I say Control F3 to jump back to where I was at handler, where I added the handler. Now this fix me needs to be removed. It's been moved, so we need to keep track of the handlers that have been added. Search all, right? And this should not be, I don't know what it should be. Search. That should generate a command, search. Now, I don't know who should. If you think about the logic here, right? We need some sort of controller. That's the controller. We do have a controller, so we could just use the controller. Not that controller. The multi-document controller. Or we must create a command handler and name search. Search all or show all? Show all. Now in theory, alright, that needs to be removed. There's two things we need to do to remove it. We must first remember controls.add window. That's not a window, so I don't think it's going to work. P. How did I do this the other day, man? I did the same thing the other day. Maybe I should just add a control without a window. No window. Have another add control that adds by ID. Then we could arbitrarily, I don't know if this needs to stop. Anyway, add control. Now we go to the definition of that, and we're basically going to do the same, but set the window must be null. Okay. ID equals window. Everything else ID is null. have window. Control. If it's requires control, then returns false. Okay. So there should be a way to remove controls. The whole thing should be dynamic, right? But this whole thing will go out of scope if you close the window. So it doesn't really matter, does it? It does in a way. So yeah, we just add control. Okay. No, it should only be add control, and the window should be optional. I guess, I don't know. Okay. Control a name. Control name from ID. Add control. But actually, we may want toolbar controls supported in this, because what if I want to enable or disable toolbar controls? That's part of the point of this. I guess I could use the ID. The whole point of this helpers is that we can easily enable it or disable it. This -1 is also a bit weird because there's no reason. I think the IDs can be negative. What I also didn't like about this whole class is that it's wxWidgets specific. I want to separate it like into a sort of core with somehow a layer that knows about the wx stuff, and then sort of a layer that, you know, core layer that doesn't. It's just generic. Okay, so we add a control, then which one did we do yesterday? That man, I can't even remember what I did yesterday now. That button that I spent hours on. Yeah, I'm only checking the chat periodically. Okay. So I'm working on button code. So yesterday, what is that grand button that I did? I did a grand button yesterday. The term and new term list thing in the document properties dialog. So I want to basically do something similar. Add handler and connect. Basically like that. I'm going to do add handler and connect. Endium search. Share all. The on command can almost be any on command really, because literally all it does is on command generic. Now I want to move away from even having to have that. Why do we need that? I think we might still need that one. Just so in this panel, so on command generic, must just call literally a very simple thing. Generic command. Okay. And that'll be this panel's on command generic. So we connect the thing to on command generic. So we use add handler to link the button's dynamic ID to a named module and command. And we use connect to just connect that ID to a little pass through, which passes it through to the thing that processes it. Then in the destructor, in the done function, we have to undo this. We have to do the opposite. We have to remove handler and disconnect. And in the opposite order. So disconnect. Oh, and we need to know the ID. That's why we need the controls. Controls.get control by name. Get control by name needs to be get ID from name now. Oh, we have it. There we go. Get control ID from the name. Search. All. Remove handler and disconnect. And we do all that in the reverse order. Okay. So in the destructor of this function it calls done. Destructor equals done. So in fact this onSearch menu should also use the same thing, but anyway, I'm still figuring out how this is going to work. Okay. It doesn't feel, it feels like a lot of work still just to create simple handlers. Anyway, another document search, and where's the button? No button. We now got a funny little visual aberration there. At the bottom of the... There should be a button over there. Add tool. Let's just test that theory that maybe about the bitmap going out of scope. No, that's still not there. Maybe it needs a label. Maybe the toolbar type is a label only type by default or something. I want to maybe add a small border when we add this, because there's a funny visual. It's drawing to one too low. The pixel is drawing on the border of the panel window, of the results window. Putting the pixel over. Still drawing the wrong pixel there. Okay. Right. So, right, what was I doing? Trying to add a button, but it's not there. So this is a toolbar, and why is my toolbar? I think it may. Let me just check when I create the toolbar. I think you need to pass it flags. I had this the other day. I think you need to, when you create the toolbar, tell it. I just want to check the toolbar. Yeah, there's no buttons by default, I think. I mean the icons. Horizontal and flat. So we want horizontal, I know, by default the icons are shown and you have to turn them off. Oh, so it must work. Okay, so what's wrong then? Default position, default size. Toolbar add control, toolbar add tool. Market document search. Let's try create it before the search and see if that just makes any difference. Maybe it's because we're not using set toolbar. But no, I'm sure that must work. Yeah, someone adds a button directly. Maybe I should be adding a button. Oh no, actually a button is a button. It's going to look like a button. Toolbar add control, new button. Button. There, look, that funny thing drawing there, that's a button there. So what's happening is it's not moving the stuff correctly, not positioning it correctly. Maybe there's something we need to call, like realize. I think that's gonna fix it. Alright. There we go. Yeah, but where's the button? The button, no, that's there, but the button is still wrong. Damn man, you just can't win. I don't want the button though, it's fine. The button was just a test, but it would have been nice to be able to add buttons. Anyway, they are buttons, I mean that's what a toolbar is in a way, but... Okay, show all entries and selected documents. Okay, that's actually what I want to do, so let's just get on with it. You know, I'm spending like half an hour on the basic GUI code here. Toolbar add. Let's get rid of that button. Move that. And there. Now we need to add the meat, the code that actually does the thing we want to do. The ratio of time I'm spending here, like one day to add a button, to do the button code, that amount of time for implementation. It should be the other way around. But I'm trying to get a nice generic system that lets me... Yeah, anyway. The toolbar has a weird border and it doesn't draw properly there. It's all messed up, look at that. And it like flickers when I resize it. It's forced the height of the toolbar to be too thin now, in accordance with the size of that bitmap. Maybe I can default position, default size. Oh man, this is annoying. I don't want to include the options stuff just for this fun size stuff. It's the right thing to do, but I don't want to do it. For various reasons. I don't want the dependency there. What size? What if we do that? WX default size and WX size, and then should give it a minimum height. It's going to be way too high. Anyway, but it'll look better. What are you doing, WX? Yeah. It's not really WX, I guess. I'm telling it to do that, but I don't... Shit. I just want a toolbar, damn it. Why does it take all this coding just to get a toolbar? Hell. What are you doing, man? Let's just check the last release. Last release it looks fine. Because it's not in the toolbar. Then let's not have the toolbar, let's just have an image button laid out with a sizer. What do we need a button for? What do we need a toolbar for? I said make the minimum height 30 and it's just ignoring it. Toolbar. Size add. I don't know. Maybe which one of these size options are forcing that to happen. $130. Make it really big. If it's still tiny, then you don't know it's really ignoring it. Yeah, the funny thing is now we got 130 space, and it's still squashed there, man. Just at the top of the space. So the toolbar is 130, or the search is 130, but why? I don't know, I give up. I'm gonna maybe try a horizontal sizer and just add them as buttons. Image button or something. That is definitely being ignored. I think toolbar. Besides add toolbar realize maybe we're supposed to go fit. No, it's not fit. Let's just check the toolbar styles again. Maybe there's some style. Flat, stackable, horizontal. Text, no icons. But I mean, this must work. We've got applications that have search controls in toolbars. There's nothing strange about it. I've never had this problem before. New search control, right? TL Corpus. I mean, TL Corpus has one for Pete's sake. And this doesn't have the problem, why not? It's never had a problem. Maybe because these are 32 by 32 in size, the images. Maybe the answer then is just use bigger images for now. Okay. Try that. Instead of using, we're going to use update path. Okay. Seed on edge. Source. On relax. Data. Deluxe. Images toolbar 32. It's worth a try, right? If this fixes it, I'm just going to make the icons really big and just be done with it. I don't want big tool icons, yeah, but anyway, I'm not struggling for the next 3 days with which one to add though. That's also a tricky problem of its own. None of these scream all, show all at all. Maybe this, so, but that's, yeah. That's not a dustbin. Oh, it's a minus sign. Okay. It is in, yeah, I see the logic. Data images. We'll just go data images. Or data TLX images? No. Data images? What's in here? Oh, but these are small. Control Shift F. I press Control Shift F and just nothing happens. This Visual Studio, it's really buggy. And it just gets worse. Each version actually gets worse. They're not fixing the problems. I think that the source code for this Visual Studio must be such a mess that they can't fix it without breaking stuff, so they just don't touch it. Anyway, but the stream is not to listen to David bitch about Visual Studio 2017 for half an hour. It's watch me program. Alright, mount tabs, data images. Tango icons. I leave the icons, just pick something that exists. I can't just pick something that exists because nothing really suitable. I don't think any of these are going to be suitable, because I mean the concept is all, I mean how do you even represent that? Okay, yeah, just because I like the imagination to envisage it. Maybe this one? I don't know. No, that implies searching or viewing. I guess this one. I don't want to add, I don't want to add new ones. If you don't want to add new ones, then that leaves you with the existing ones, which are that one is fine, but it's also the same already as the... doesn't make sense there because that's the icon for the dialogue, but actually it would be suitable. Style statistics, I'm gonna go with this one. Okay, let's see what that does now. Yeah, I guess that'll do. It looks really big and silly. Okay. Although my conceptualization of big is, I don't know, probably different from the average person, I guess. I don't know, because I grew up, you know, I grew up in the days where 16 by 16 was the standard size for an icon. But like kids these days are like, want to tinker toy big icons. Like everything's made for children. And like they find these really small icons, they don't realize it's something there even. But like if you look at like professional editing software, they don't have big icons, they just want to fit a lot of functionality on the screen. Like, if you look at Blender, it's got a really nice UI. It's not the or even Photoshop, you know, it's powerful software with a lot of tools. So okay, this Blender, you know, and it's nice. They stay small. I think those are 16 by 16. But and like these are small. And I mean, it wouldn't make sense if they weren't small, because you wouldn't be able to fit enough on the screen. Anyway, yeah, that's enough about. I'm gonna have to use a different icon there. That is not suitable. And you know, I'm not gonna be able to get a lot of commands there without. I could use 24 by 24. That might be a nice intermediate size over there. The other thing is, people have you know, these days you have some really high DPI screens which have become more common. Okay, so now I need to implement the meet, the handler, the thing that actually does something over there. Right, and that is the MDM :search in lowercase thing, and that must register. You need to register a command handler MDM search, I think. Right. This thing needs a pointer to. Alright, so we add here, and over there. So we add a command handler to the global command handlers in the init for the panel. It's a map of strings to command handlers. Clean up command handlers. Is it safe to... This is a really dumb question, it's a basic question. If I'm iterating over objects in a map and I use the iterator to delete the object, is it safe to just continue the loop? I think so, because that's part of the point of iterators. Anyway, I should know these things. I'm a C++ expert. Okay, right. Two command handlers, MDM search, use new, TC command handler, MDM search this. Why is it moaning? Why is it moaning there? Looks right to me. I think it'll stop moaning after a while. Oh, I know why, because that's not a wide string. Do we need wide strings there? It would be faster if we just used 8-bit strings. These are internal module names. I'm never going to use Chinese in those names, for example. Anyway, but it's not... Yeah, that's a very good point. New TC command handler search. Clean up command handler search, right? Or standard map. Iterator. Iter equals check again. Not equal to and iter if owner iter second grade equals owner delete iter no command handlers erase at iter. Oh, and we need to delete the thing. Yeah, the command handler. Okay. Erase the entry from the map. This whole thing needs more thought. Okay. Anyway, it's a start. Alright, it's a start. Okay. Maybe this is how Visual Studio got so slow. Control Shift F, and it probably goes through like 16 different layers of, you know, regenericization and scripting and slow things that have 60 million things registered in them. You do have to be careful, I guess. But yeah, anyway. G command handlers. So we register command handler in G command handler for MDM search, right? And yeah, we actually handle it. So let's throw up a message box here. True. Okay. But there's first one more thing we need to do. The place where it iterates over the command handlers. Else, now we check the global command handlers. I think we should get rid of the member command handlers. We should only have global command handlers. Yeah, it's just confusing having two systems now. In theory, when I click that button now, it should say foo. and then we can finally get around to actually doing the functionality that it's supposed to actually do. Okay. Ah, it doesn't work. Why not? What's wrong? It should work. Oh, right. So there's nothing wrong or missing. Everything is there. MDM search. T-add handler. I mean, oh, it shouldn't add 2, but still it should work. But there needs to be connect the ID. Perhaps that's the wrong command. Uncommand generic. Let's see if uncommand generic gets called. I think what's wrong is that it may be the wrong button clicked, might be the wrong event for a toolbar click. I did this the other day. I had a dynamic, I used connect on a dynamic, I know I used the bind thing. Here's bind connect wx event toolbar. Oh, let's go back to also testing. If we can just put the image on the stack and let it, or if that thing, why is it not working? It doesn't even call on command generic connect. I'm pretty sure we've always just used that event for... Oh, it's not button click, there's another one. I think... maybe this one? Menu selected. Yeah, voila, and through, and it works. So yesterday we spent the whole day adding a new button. Today we spent the whole day adding another new button. No, that sounds terrible. I want to be sick to my stomach. I haven't spent the whole day. I've spent an hour and 10 minutes. So that's, I've said 1 hour literally, so that's an exaggeration. And I've done more than just add the button. In my defense, okay. T-message box on command generic, generic command. So that foo must now actually, I must sit and do the actual thing. And that'll do basically something like this. For deviant, okay, standard. I think we're just going to call a function gmd show all, okay. And we're going to add a new function in the MDM. Where do we do the search? Do search. Do search. I don't know if it should be MDM. matches. Let's just see. Do multi-doc text command menu helper. Not that. MA matches. MA matches lives in cpanel multi-doc manager search. That is not quite the right place for it. Why? Because this is just the user interface. Okay, but that means what we want is a pointer to the panel that's generating the event. I don't see why do search should be protected. On search, yeah. Do search, no. Do generic command test. This is the same principle as the other thing, but it's the thing that handles the command, the actual search. There's a dialog multi-document manager, which is kind of like a controller that knows about the panel and has a pointer to the panel. So maybe it should be the multi-doc manager dialog that we call. How do we get the dialog? That's the question. We could just pass it in when you instantiate the thing. That's kind of the point. But that search all is going to need to know the selected documents. So actually it's not really the search panel's function. That function actually belongs to the whole dialog conceptually. And it just happens to use the search panel for the moment. To do a special kind of search, and so special kind of search results. So I think that should live in the, that should be, yeah, the multi-doc manager. Okay, that command handler thing I did. Okay, this should just be replaced by tc command handler multi-doc manager. Right. And it should take in its constructor the dialog. Who knows about the dialog? That's the question. Where the dialog lives in the frame. Nobody knows about it except the frame. Should it be that way? Somebody needs to tell this frame. Somebody needs to tell the dialog. Do the search. There should be a controller that knows about the dialog. Or it should live in the dialog. But then there needs to be a pointer to the dialog. But a pointer to the dialog. Then who? Pointer to the dialog. This MDM search must then change. It shouldn't be MDM search. It should be just MDM. But we already have using MDM, so MDM is multi-doc manager and multi-doc manager. When we create the thing, okay, multi-doc manager, let's just put it multi-doc manager for now. We create it, and we shouldn't create it from this panel then, because it's got nothing to do with that can stay there. But this should get created by the dialog. Or by the manager, and the manager should know about the dialog. Who creates the dialog? The frame. Unfortunately, that's not really the right. It shouldn't. Should it be the frame? I don't know. So the frame creates that thing. Frame creates that thing, and that's all it does. Is it's got a constructor, and so init and a done. What we can do there is the beginning of done and the end of init command handlers. Okay. And it takes a multi-document manager. But then that thing points to the dialog, which is gross. I don't want it to point to the dialog. That's the whole point. It must point to a controller. Because let's say we were to rewrite this to use Qt. This dialog is a wx dialog. Now we would have a Qt dialog. I don't want to re-implement all this. The controller part should remain the same. So what we need is a controller that knows about the dialog. We've got like 20 million classes here. There's already a controller, but it's not supposed to know about the dialog. Because that's just the... That's a bit confusing. Okay, so we need a controller that actually creates the dialog, closes the dialog. So we need a new thing. C multi-document controller. We already have a multi-document controller, so that job is the document management. So we don't want that. That's not what we want. What we want, that's the core controller that just controls the document list. It's really the model of the multi-document controller, manager controller, manager controller, controls the managers. This is ridiculous. The CEO. Multi-document CEO. CEO. It makes sense. That's like the big boss of all of them. Chairman of the board. Chairman. Managers, controllers, and CEOs. Chairman of the board. Okay. Come on, just solve this problem. We need something new. Multi-document. Executive manager. It's like, stop. It's executive manager. Whatever the hell that even means, I don't know. Multi-document executive manager. No. It's the... Why not just use the application controller at this point? Because that's kind of what it's for. And what we're trying to do is... Oh damn, I've blown the clipboard. The clipboard had the cool stuff in it that I wanted. Or did it? No, there it is. Basically this and that. Okay. Let's put that in the controller. Okay. But we still need a new class. So there's still a question of what to call it. I've called it, yeah, I've given it a name, the multi-doc manager. But there's already a manager. Maybe that is the manager's job. Let's go check the old manager out and what does it do. We got multi-document manager, which has a list of... Oh, this has the list of documents. The manager has a list. That's the model. Okay, that's the core model of documents. The controller does things like load documents, do open, add folder, reset, recursor, search options, multi-doc model. It does then belong here, the multi-document controller, I think. But in the multi-document controller, no, there's still 2 layers. Wow, there still needs to be another layer. I want short names. Multi-doc. I don't even think multi-doc is the right. Anyway. Okay. So this, yeah, we take it out of here. Okay. I've now really lost track. Multi-doc and in the done over here we want to call cleanup command line list this exciting new feature. Right, so in the global command handlers we register a TC command handler MDM I'll have to think about where this is going to load. Okay, and what parameter it should take. So multi-doc show all. And this should become but yeah, the thing about using the controller as well, this is an application controller. Just functionality, I should be able to move the entire dialog into the base diclib library, DLL, and reuse it in another application. So it shouldn't know about our controller. That's the other thing. So what we need here is just a thin layer. I want to use the same dialog in TL corpus and TL translate, wherever the hell I want to add it. Okay, command handler MDM. It's either the dialog job to do this, or the controller. It's the controller's job to tell the dialog to do it. But it's not this controller. We do need another controller. Oh, it could be the... What is it? This controller is UE independent. I thought this would be a simple 10-minute damn button to add, but there's a lot of design questions to be answered about the... You know what I should do? I should put this in another application, and that'll force me also to... It'll make it a little mentally clearer. Anyway, but for now, I just want to... Okay, so we go to the MDM, and we create that MDM, we pass... either the controller, yeah, this is the owner. TC owner. No, it's TC owner. Okay. Right, do command show all. This thing should now tell somebody please do this command. The frame. Oh, no, we need the frame to get the dialog, and then we need to tell the dialog. Frame window, then multi-document manager. Look, the dialog has to know about it. We can't get away from that. The dialog has to know about it one way or another. The question is whether the dialog just gets events or signals and it just updates the UE from something doing all the work. Or if we tell the dialog, yeah, just do this. You know, when you do that, your dialog kind of is the controller too, in a sense, or a sub-controller. Anyway, dialog multi-manager MDM, so we're gonna just now we're going down a bad road with this function. I don't think the frame should be worrying so much about all these dialogues. Anyway, chain empty DLD name. Okay. And so, oh man, the function doesn't exist. It doesn't mean change it to something else on my behalf that I didn't even write. It means I'm gonna add it. Really, show all. Oh, there's already a show all. No. Show. Oh, okay. Get multi-doc manager. Or we could all do command. Anyway, the command should just be passed through to functions. Not show all. characteristic command. So now we actually want to pass it through to the panel, because for some silly reason the panel is owning What is your problem? Oh, there. Okay. This really needs thought. It needs more thought, honestly. So the panel's also going to have a show wall. Finally. Okay. Now I control it to be look at that message box. Hello. Huh? Why is that not working? Okay, no matches. Yeah. I'll start working with the doc lock stuff, because it's gonna come up. So I must just start using it already. But the doc lock, tell me it doesn't sit in the IO. It sits in the IO. The hell? Oh no, wait, sorry, I'm confusing it with the other doc lock. Read write is read lock. That's what we want, sorry. Read write is read lock. Doc lock. For multi-threading. It's not needed yet. This is to make it future safe. Okay, and doc lock. Oh, that stuff isn't in yet. Okay, read write is read lock. Okay, now for I think I once had like 4 levels of eyes. It's called being asleep at the wheel. Dark. Right, now we need to do something like is mode TMX. Okay. That shouldn't happen. If T is made TMX. Strange. leave that for now. Then right, and let's go remind ourselves what a TMX document looks like. Here it is, here's one. Im editor. So this is TMX document, translation memory. So it has translation units. Each translation unit consists of segments in a language. So each segment, so it's a translation in multiple languages. So what we want to do is iterate through all TUs. Now all this stuff, we need a sort of a helper, like anyway, because we're using this a lot. Like it to be this should be farmed out to a sub-function. Do show all TMX, just for neatness, and then that can return, okay. Matches, I think that's what we need. Okay, and that function takes a reference to one of these, and there's all this stuff. Let's do that, and that should have the next experiment. This isn't an experiment anymore. I think it's gone beyond an experiment. TMX experiment. It's just plain TMX port. And these helper functions and stuff. Right, so first we need to get all TUs, I think. Standard vector. I think this is starting to get so dark. Get under it. I need to take a break. Define descendants of element type BMTU. That's squiggly because it needs the ID. Okay. Then under each TU. Okay, that we need the colors and all that stuff. The colors now are a result of the... Oh yeah, so actually we don't need the colors, we just need to say get all segs, I like that word, segs, get all segs, under the TU. Nodes I. Segs, seg, and then for each seg, I'm going to stop putting those spaces there, just slows me down. Yeah, for each seg. Yeah, so for each TU we add a match. So push back. TS match info. Okay. we say matches.back.lines.pushback. So let's we're just doing a seg. Look at this to curious. So these segs. Okay. Let's not. Let's go empty. Push it back as a line. But we also want to get the lang. Okay, add a TV lang. I'm not sure if it's optional, but we're going to treat it as optional. Okay. Let's just check where the lang fits on the TUV, which is the parent of the seg, I think. So we can maybe do 6J, get parent. If 6J get parent, get element equals plm TUV. Then lang equals every parent get attribute, that would be lang ms line, and as ms lang, not pushback. Voila. Okay, simple as that. And now at the end of this whole thing, usual TMX, we must say t generate results HTML, and yeah, display results. We set null as the search options because this has nothing to do with searching. And the text defined we leave blank because that is also not relevant. Okay. But we display it otherwise as if it's search results. I don't know yet if that's a good idea or not. But why can't we push back? No, the function takes 2 arguments. Because this should be pushback line info. Why did that happen? I said Control C. Oh, because it looked selected, so I thought it was. Okay, it's my fault. Generate search results helper, and that's not defined because it's below. Voila, finally. So that didn't take too long, but it's probably going to crash, but let's see what it does. And I need to do xleft still, but it's a start. So the idea is if we add a TMX there, normally it just lets us search it, right? And this, so say we have a document open in TL2, we go multi-document smart search. Now we can select, say, a TMX. TMX, translation memory exchange, and I'm going to use some of the EU sign sub ones. So normally we can just search it, right? Kingdom, and it shows results with kingdom. Right? Okay. Now what I want to do is say we click this button and oops. Oh dear, that's not right. That wasn't what I was expecting. But yeah, the idea is it's supposed to show everything. Let's just see what that was. Probably something really simple. Software search, matching doc not equal to null, multi-doc manager line 579. That error report is our error report message, and it logs details like the line number it happens and what went wrong. So multi-doc manager line 579. So it's really easy to know what exactly happened there. Matching doc is null. Oh, of course, yeah, we need to fill in the matching doc information. So yeah, where we push back, it simply needs to say not just a back. Oh, use the construct, one of the constructors. Oh no. Images the back dot be doc. Like a doc. Compulsory. Okay. I don't even need to rebuild. I know there was. I can go back to release mode. I don't know if it's going to work. Okay, there should be two versions of this thing I just did. One that searches selected document, and one that searches all documents. Not search. Search is the wrong word. Okay, so we have condom, kingdom, blah blah blah. Multi-document smart search, add, select file. Okay, so we add now we say all. Boom. There we go, and it shows. Now this is really nice because it becomes a browser. Instead of a smart search, we can browse the document and literally, like, you know, view the whole thing. The Council of the European Communities, and I can even read it, of the one part, and the Swiss Federal Council of the other part. Whereas, blah blah blah. I think it's in order of the translation. I'm not sure. Whereas. This is obviously a legal document. The agreement has been drawn up in the French language only. Have agreed as follows. Article 1. Okay, so now the cool thing is, if we want to add this as translation, for example, we can say, okay, add article into this new entry, article, and we can say, oh no, we don't want article 1, we just want the word article. And then we can, for example, say we want to translate to, or say we're working with this language, or Hungarian, I guess that is. We can say copy to clipboard, and we're going to our Hungarian field, which we don't currently have, and we just paste it, remove the 1, and boom. So we're grabbing, so you can browse the whole TMX. That's what, and this is potentially really useful for users. They'll be able to browse. That reminds me what I also wanted to do. Okay, so you'll be able to just browse the whole TMX document. So I've actually named this wrong now, multi-document smart search. I knew the name was going to come back to bite me. It's still a search in a way, I suppose, but it's you can, and I want to add a function that'll grab multiple translations at once, even. So you could say, okay, I want to add this to my database. Boom, grab the whole entry. So this becomes a browser. You can browse. It's not really tied to that. You know, you can basically, you know, you can have your document open, and you can. It's a bit, I don't know, using space. Where do I put you? Okay, but this should be shrinkable so we get more space. But you can literally browse a TMX and say pick things you want to add. What would also be nice is if you could select sub things like double click on that and just add that, or that shouldn't be too hard to do something for that. You know, we could do all the other things with it, insert into Word, and you can just browse the whole thing, and that's the cool thing about this. You can just browse the entire document. TMX. Okay, if I can look at our TMX, I think it's the whole TMX unless I've done something wrong, which is possible. The distinguishing sign of the EFTA state. Why isn't the last one not? Oh, because this is a different TMX file. It's not the same file. There's hundreds of them. 219. Okay. We should really group them by document, I guess. Would be useful. Well, yeah, maybe that should be an option, group by document. Because if you have more than one open, what could get a bit slow if you load a big one? I don't know, but like this one's 35 meg. Let's see what happens. No, it's so show all. I think we should add a wait cursor. Definitely. Okay, should do show all. I like having wx stuff in there, but it's should be add unwrapper and busy cursor. I don't know. Or it should be a progress dialog with a cancel. Yeah, that makes the most sense, because if you've done a big one, that didn't take too long. But then again, I have a really fast machine. But hang on, what are we using? View. Okay, still not responsive. View menu. That browser component is unresponsive now. I think I'm in wxWidgets though, which might be the problem. I went into wxWidget mode because I mean that's a big file. View shift 3. Oh, it's in your Explorer. I forgot. Yeah, I don't have wx running properly on here. That's not bad, that's usable. Considering, I mean, we'll probably have to do some sort of multi-page thing where it shows 100 at a time and says next page. And then only if you're really masochistic you press show all or something. I don't know. But that's one step at a time. RAM wasn't built in a day. So now, you know, if you decide you like the phrase international negotiations, you can say add it to your insert as a new entry. Boom. And you got your translations. This is very cool. Damn, this is cool. Yeah, so I mean, there's straightforward terms, like just principles. Boom. I mean, that would be a nice one to add. What's going on here? Are these really all separate languages? Good heavens. Wow, okay. This is really cool. This is really, really very cool. We're definitely going to want to have users going to want to select things. You can say right copy and then add anyway. Paste. It's a bit roundabout. Wow, that's a lot of dropped frames. I'm getting really annoyed with my bandwidth here. Bandwidth situation. Absolute garbage. Dashboard. The stream is 2 hours long. Way too long, moving way too slowly. that is not a good icon for the functionality. But you have the tooltip. When you not that that's an excuse. Okay, so it can figure out the language, and in theory it can figure out if you have the matching language, which is the next thing I could do. Now in theory there should be a batch import button, and you press a button and it imports everything. What is South Africa entering into the file? That is the last one, accumulation with South Africa. The zoom should have an effect, or it should have its own zoom options, yeah. Use a smaller font size. Chapter. Now the colours aren't strictly right, I don't know if anyone notices. Anyway, it's rainbowing the colours, but the same language subset is not always present on the segment. Which means that while it always looks like a nice rainbow, the colours don't always correspond, like, or do they? Let's go to the bottom. I don't know, I think, yeah, there for example, yeah. The CS01 has the same color as BG01, yeah. Very minor nitpick. Alright, I'm gonna break from the stream for a bit. No, I'm not.